Today we have a 2015 Volkswagen Passat, and we're going to take the front and rear door panels off. I just did a video on a 2017. They're real similar, except I believe the biggest difference is this one doesn't have the light up here, so you don't have to really hassle with it as much. So we're going to get started. First we're going to take the switch off. We're going to take this little trim off here. We're going to pull this trim off here, and we're going to turn one of the little plastic torx 10mm bolts about a quarter turn. And then there's also one of those plastic bolts right down here we're going to turn. We don't have to take off the light on the fronts. We do have to take them off on the backs because there's a little plastic screw behind there. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to pan you in, take off the switch, take this off, take the torx off of there, and we'll get started. Start from the front of the switch, start from the front of the switch, take a real thin screwdriver, and you want to get it behind there and go down a little bit. Just kind of push in that way a little bit, and then pull, and then pry it, and the switch comes right out. And then you're just going to unplug the harness by pushing down on the little tab here and sliding it out. Now the driver's one, the window switch is a little bit different. That one actually, you have to actually push back. You'll see like a little blue deal there that you have to push and then pull the whole harness. It's a little bit different on the driver's side. Then the next step is going to be is we want to get right underneath this little plastic panel here, underneath here with a little screwdriver, and then basically just kind of pull that piece out. And it has the two clips just like the 2017 does. And then there's a little torx, I believe it's a T30. We'll take that out. So we like to start out in this corner right here. I didn't have this issue on the 2017 model. Pull that, and then we want to slide our plastic tool over. Now on the other models, you're able to just slide and it pops. On this one, you're gonna have to kind of look behind it and find the clip. Once we get there, we want to pry on it, and we'll just keep working. But it's the same setup as the newer ones. It has still the guides here, so when you put it back in, you have to guide it. And then it has also these two little guides, one here and one here, that need to go in here, and you put them in and then you clip them into place. 1, 2, 3. It feels like you're going to break the panel when you're pulling it out. These are just a little bit tighter. Luckily we don't have to take the back ones off. We have to take off these front ones. The 2017 models, we also have the little plastic screw here that we're going to just turn it about a quarter turn so that it lines up. It's actually vertical now. And so when we pull the panel now to come through, take your little wrench and get it in there, and you probably line up the wrench like now is going to be to pull on the panel, find a spot where we can get it loose, and then go ahead and pry it off. So down here, right to the left of the light, there's a little spot. Try to pull a little bit. Try to get your plastic tool under there, which I did right there. We just want to slide it in there to be able to get a little bit of room. And then once we get a little bit of room, we want to try to take our door panel tool and then get it right next to it and kind of create some leverage and pop the panel. So once I get a little bit of leverage to get my hands under there, now we want to kind of hold the door with our leg. And then you just try to work your way all the way around the door. Like I said, these are really tight, so they're kind of a little bit of a pain to pop off. Sometimes the clips come off, just put them right back on if they do. And then now we gotta take off the harness for the door locks and then unlatch the handle. Up on the panel, get it away from the rubber seal here. And then you want to pull back on this little cable. Then pull back the whole cable and then unhook it. And it'll be reverse order. Put it back in. We hook it. We'll pull on the cable, stick it in the guide, put it back in, and then it just snaps right back in. Okay? Step would be to unplug this harness right here for the door locks. Just push down on the tab and it slides out. Okay? And just make sure that the harness for the window switch doesn't get stuck on you. So that pretty much does it for the front door panel, and then it's pretty much reverse order. Like I said, if some of the clips do come off, like this one came off down here, then just get your door panel tool, get as far back as you can, and then just basically pry it off and then put it back on the door panel. So it'd be down here. There just like that. Now what I did want to show you is on the driver's door that there is a couple more things on there. So on the driver's door there's a little LED light right here. I believe it's for the alarm system. So there's an actual harness that has to be unplugged from right there, okay? And I believe it's got like a little release thing on the bottom. You want to make sure to take that off. And then I believe it also has the control for the mirrors right here, so that has to be unplugged right here as well. Just push down and pull it. And then down here it's also the pop trunk release, so there's a harness right down there that's got to be pushed down and pulled out. So that's for the driver's one. So now we'll go ahead and we'll move to the back door and we'll take those off. So now we're going to take off the back door. Now we don't have to take this trim off. Just like on the 2017s, you don't have to take the trim off of here. The switch comes off, this panel comes off. We do have to take the light off on the bottom. Okay, and that has that little plastic screw that we need to quarter turn. So first we'll start with the trim right here. Take our screwdriver, get underneath that trim, pry it loose. The plastic tool. Sometimes if you pull out on it, it'll come right out. Again, it has a clip here and a clip there. You just leave those there. When you put it back in, it snaps back into place. There is a torx screw in here, T30. Take that out. And then now we're going to take off the switch. Again, we're going to go from this side. We're just going to, a real thin screwdriver, we're going to push, get down a little bit below the lip of the switch, kind of push in a little bit and then pry up. Pry up, goes right out. And then we'll go ahead and unplug this by using the release tab that it has for the harness. We'll take off that switch. We've got to take the light off. So we're going to go ahead and just take our little screwdriver or plastic tool, whatever you can get in there. Pry down. It comes off. And it goes back in reverse order. Now there is a plastic torx 10mm under there that we need to quarter turn, and you need to use your little wrench. Now it is inset on the back ones. It's a little bit harder to get to. You might need a light to get down here. What I like to do, I like to go vertical like this, since you don't need a lot of pressure, and then just turn it, quarter turn. That screw down there is the same as like the ones in the front where they're right here on the side, the plastic ones. It's the exact same type of screw, so you just kind of got to turn it. So now the next step's going to be is we want to find a spot underneath the door panel where we can pry on it. So I like to grab it from here where there's an opening. And I actually just heard one of the clips pop there, so the back ones, sometimes they're not as hard as the front ones. I just pulled here and it actually released the whole panel, the whole bottom. So then the next step is going to be to lift that panel up and release the door lock harness and the cable. This cable right here is the one we want to take off. I want to pull up right here, pull this way, get the cable out, and unhook it. Put it back in, we'll do the same thing. We put it back in, pull on the cable, make sure it goes in through the little guide. You see that the cable has like a little tube on there. That goes in, and then that makes sure that locks down. Okay? That's that. And then the other harness for the door locks, push down, release it. There's a little tab right there. That pretty much does it. So that pretty much does it for the rear door panel. Again, if there's any clips that came off, make sure you take them off, put them back on the door panel. None of them came off on this door or the other ones, just the one in the fronts. I think one clip came off. If you have any questions, hit me up. Like I said, they're real similar, 2017 to the 2015s, except I think the 17s have a special little light, which is kind of a pain to take off. And by one of my other videos, I have that. But on these ones, you're not going to have that issue. It's a little bit easier to do. This is, again, take off the front and rear door panels on a 2015 Volkswagen Passat. Thanks for watching.